Hello Capricorn, welcome to Creators on the Crest. I'm Stephanie, this is Blazer the Morkie, and we're here with your December monthly reading. Can you believe it? It's also Sagittarius season, so happy birthday to all our Saggies out there. We're representing for them this month. So today's reading, we're going to do a yummy Celtic cross and get lots of information from that. And then we'll also be pulling a message card at the end of the reading, especially for the Cappy Collective. Do keep in mind these are general readings, so take only what resonates and leave the rest. If you're interested in more context or texture, you could check out the December monthlies for your sun, moon, rising, and north node signs, and that will help paint a complete picture and maybe give you a little more resonance and information. If you're interested in a personal reading, I will have links in the description below that I want you to check out, and also links there for connecting on social media. I've been reminding everybody, make sure you're following me on Instagram at Creators on the Crest. In my stories, I will run the occasional special, and they are up and down in 24 hours, so be sure to check there because you might be interested in taking advantage of that. I'm also here live on the channel every other Sunday. We just had an amazing live this past week, and everybody was so engaged and asking such great questions. It was a really great time, and that creators community is building quite nicely, so please join us there. All right, let's get going, Cappy, here. So in your current situation, you're showing me the energy of the Seven of Cups, and the challenge energy over the top of that is the Page of Cups. So I think you're having a bit of an issue with making a decision, and perhaps it's because you feel that you have maybe too much emotional connection wrapped up into this, and so you may be taking some more time to make a decision about something, or possibly how you're going to approach someone that's important to you in relationship. In the area of your needed focus, what's interesting is you get the Six of Cups, which would be an energy to invite you into what is already working for you, what's established in the area of emotions and emotional support. For some of you in this card are pictured, and it's a familiar, a dog going from puppy to adulthood. Some of you may have a very sacred bond with your pet, your animal. I've got little Blazer here. He's 4 years old. And it's just crazy, you know, you never want them to grow up. You want them to be around forever. Some of you may be focusing on that. Maybe there's the health of a child or an animal, or possibly even your inner child that is needing a little bit of attention here. In your past, you have the Seven of Wands. You've been previously pretty closed off to something. I don't know that it's necessarily something that you intentionally blocked yourself from. It's more of like a protection almost, the need to protect or defend oneself, maybe feeling in a little bit of a defensive position. And looking to your future, so there's the Seven. Remember, you had the Seven of Cups and the Page of Cups. Now you have the Seven of Wands in the past, moving to the Page of Wands here in your future. This is you having freed yourself maybe from the ways that you were. For some of you, you know, this runs on a scale. It runs from high to low, but maybe you were protecting and feeling defensive to such a degree that you kind of were a hermit, or you kind of overdid it, and now you're coming out of your shell. This could be you sharing some gifts with the world that you previously wanted to work with yourself internally and internalize those gifts before sharing them. But it certainly looks like there's this like coming out of your period of, excuse me, yeah, here's the energy moving. Anytime I start to get that that kind of feeling, it would be you coming out of and rising up into and being seen with some of your gifts, talents, and abilities. Now, for your place of empowerment, what's interesting is you get the Nine of Wands. So you have kind of this little dance. The the thing you'll have to be careful of is for that past sense of defensiveness and of closing yourself off and being maybe ultra cautious instead of allowing your gifts, talents, and abilities to flow through you. You'll have to be careful of that you don't slip back into that. That may be for some of you a default, like you just, yeah, now the nose is running. See, the energies would like to move here. They need to shift for you. The sense that I'm getting here is that you honestly, you get scared. You get scared at times and maybe aren't surrendering to the gifts that you have. So it's something you want to show to others. And this could be with your voice, this could be with an instrument, this could be through writing, this could be through being on YouTube, this could be many ways, public speaking engagement of some kind. But you want to make sure that you allow yourself this growth opportunity. But there's a lot of movement in here from the 7 to the page. So you might be a little apprehensive because you feel new to this. This is different. This is new. This is innovative though, and it's creative. And as we're in this season in December, particularly in the Northern Hemisphere, where we're kind of starting into our overwinter, this is a really nice time for you to nurture and begin to do little taste tests of showing yourself and seeing how it goes. In your allies and support, you have the 2 of Wands. So this is really interesting. I'm picking up that some of you have a friend or a family member or a partner who is very supportive. We've got the 2, and they give you your space to go through your process. They allow it to be yours, but they are there with you, standing strong in the background. So it's not for lack of not having the right support. So we definitely are dealing, Cappy, here with some sort of fear, perhaps. In your environment, you get the 9 of Swords. There it is. You're stressed out. I feel that you're stressed out about things that aren't related to this actual moment in your life. So you could be looking at the opportunity here in December to really decide what you're going to leave behind for the year and what you'll be taking with you. I also want, for some of you, you might be interested in, I'm planning on doing a webinar, kind of an end of the year closure. So again, make sure you're following me on Instagram because that's where I launch these things, right? And there's a lot of release that needs to happen. I can feel it as I'm talking about it. So just, keep on the pulse there, and allowing yourself to be supported through that process could be very helpful because you do have a lot of stress in your mind about it. In your hopes and fears, you have the 3 of Cups, wondering, hey, are people going to be there? Am I going to be supportive? Can I make new friends? Maybe for some of you, your friends group is shifting, or the people in your inner circle are shifting. And so you're hoping that it lands in a very supportive manner. There may be some people you have to let go of here this year, and the energy of, or the echo of their energy from the past. And then in your potential outcome, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, I like that. I feel like it's fresh start energy for you, and I think that's where you're wanting to go with all this. You're just in some very interesting dynamics. I'm not surprised we have, Pluto recently shifted out of Capricorn. There may be some scrambling kind of feeling for some of you, but stick with this. This is really important energy for you to work through. Okay, let's look at this decision here. Let's get some clarifiers. Decision you're making in your current. So think about an important decision that you're making, and it could be about letting go of fear. Let's see, it could be about possibly letting go a person. Yes, you have the Queen of Wands and the Devil here. This is why you're spending a little bit more time here. For some of you, this is a person that you're considering releasing, or the energy or the echo of a person right? This could be an ex where you still feel like you have an energetic connection to them. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to physically be in your life right now. There could be their energies or the echo of their energies still upon you, imprinted upon you. And so as you make decisions going forward, your goal is, okay, I don't want to move toward those controlling, addictive, problematic, dramatic energies of the devil. I want to move into my own empowerment with that Queen of Wands. I want to be in control of my own fire and lighting my own beacon and lighting my own way. For some of you, you don't want to have a reliance on someone else, right? So you may be moving out of a pattern where you heavily relied, even possibly financially, emotionally, on someone else. For some of you, you could be moving, literally moving residences and moving away from someone who, you know, like a controlling landlord, like a slum. I kind of get like a slumlord kind of feeling, some of you, or overbearing boss, you know, who's like a micromanaging kind of energy. So you have some important choices, and this end of year energy with the Pluto entering Aquarius is really expanding this for you. Let's look at this Page of Cups that is in your challenge. So there may be some emotional connections for you still tangled up into this. I don't see you, I do not see you getting back together with this person that was toxic, or you know, really continuing to be in a job where you're treated poorly or underpaid or undervalued. You got the Death card and the Eight of Swords here. Honestly, this challenge is you versus you. Okay, and that's what that Eight of Swords is all about. The transformation is happening. And it's not the easiest of transformations, but it is leading you someplace very stable, very new, and very inviting. So you've got one little element here of connection to someone. For many of you, it's someone or something, the job environment. Maybe you have friends at the job, you don't want to leave and you feel bad, you know, about leaving them, things like this. Whatever or whomever it is you're leaving behind, you have this like little voice that keeps coming in and being like, but, you know, don't leave Tracy behind over here, or Stella over here is going to miss me. And you know, you have this, because when you do get, especially for those, there it is, especially for those of you who are in a work environment, you dedicate a lot of yourself to your work environment, and to let it go is a big deal for you. So for some of you that might be facing that, and really making plans for next year, and wanting those plans to be different, and wanting things to look different than they have this year, this is something you're dealing with in December. And for some of you, it might be getting back in, you know, you're considering getting back into dating. You don't want to have the same missteps as before, but I will remind you, you're a different person now than you were then. And your energies are changing. And there has to be that moment where you have a little faith and trust in yourself, Cappy, on this. You know, no matter what's going on in the astrology, no matter who said what, no matter what scam or troll or ex or, you know, boss or landlord or whoever did, right? This is about you with you, providing for you and taking care of you. And it's where you're really stepping into those energies. In your needed focus of the Six of Cups, so remember I said some of you have a familiar or a pet. I would say there's the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Cups here. Your pet may be actually processing a lot of the stressful energies for you, taking it on themselves. Pets absolutely do this. They will absorb and transform energies for you. Really observe your pet. If this is the case, make sure, you know, you're looking for any signs of discomfort with them. You may also want to have the little conversation with them of, hey, you do not have to take this on for me. You could have a very empathetic child who may be, you know, wanting to help. I want to help mom. I want to help dad. I want to help, you know, I want to help my brother. Whoever the relationship is, they may be you know, trying to take on. And they've got beautiful intentions and they absolutely love you and they're coming from the heart space here. But it's also not ultimately their job to do that. But they will think, you know, they will think and take on as it is their job. And that's quite a gift. But if you're listening to my reading, right, it's like with Blazy here. Blazy is kind of a high anxiety breed anyway. Morkies, they're kind of hyper. They have a bit of anxiety, you know, the thunderstorms, not liking that, loud sounds, you know, gets excitable really easy. So I know that being in a calm presence with him is so important, right? And we take him on his walks and he gets his energy out, but also having times where he just gets cuddled and it can be about him for a moment. So I know y'all, you're watching my channel, you're an animal lover, you love your pets. They're very special, they're very important. They're like angels sent, right, from heaven to assist you. But remember, when you are tuned in to creator energy, you are able to handle and carry and acknowledge and process those stresses yourself. And you're going to be learning how to do that through the heart space here. So whatever it is that you need to do to let go of not taking full accountability for the thoughts, that's where you need to go with it. And I know that's a tall order, and it doesn't mean you can't find solace in friends, because remember, you're going through some relationship changes here where your inner circle needs to be fortified. And it's going to be the kind of people who can hold space without taking it on for you, right? Because your soul's on this journey to learn these things. You've agreed before you even came here to learn these certain lessons. We can have helpers, we can have support, but no one needs to take on our burden, if that makes sense. Okay, I think I've made my point. Looking at your past energies here with the Seven of Wands, what's really incredible is this is clarified by the star and the sun for you. So this does indicate to me as this big cycle for the cardinal signs, including you, Capricorn, comes to an end, and we have the star, which is our Aquarius energy. This is a big part of it for you. And I think you're going to have no choice but to surrender with the sun here. Open up and surrender into these energies where you once felt like you had to protect or block or limit something that is important to you. This is now going to come out. And I think for a lot of you, it could be actually being comfortable being yourself. Just being yourself and showing up in full regard as yourself, not worrying about what the boss thinks, what the landlord thinks, what the ex thinks, or what anyone else is to think of you. This is a huge, powerful transformation out of energies that you're agreeing to leave behind here. And I think it's going to lead to, obviously, a lot more freedom for you, because let's look at this Page of Wands here. So, you know, this is your soul spark, Capricorn, having agreed to this, to light things up and to come in as yourself. As you move into this freedom, okay, I think the entire challenge here is you're going to be some of you, now for some of you, not all of you, but some of you may have fallen into addictive energy. So some of you may have recently stopped like an addiction, like drinking or maybe sugar or something like that. And you're going to be having these changes. And I think it's going to be physical changes for you here, because you have the Page of Wands clarified by the Five of Wands and the Three of Swords, which indicates transforming pain. When we release pain from the emotional body, the pain can also be released from the physical body. Warming things this winter are probably going to be helpful to you, like a nice warm cup of tea, a warm bath, an infrared sauna, a hot tub, go to the hot, getting some warming things for your body. There is absolute benefit to ice baths and resetting the nervous system. Don't get me wrong if that's your thing. But for what you're stepping into, the warmth is really going to support you. I think it's going to help you find your place in all this, find your place in your life, and it's going to help you deal with pain on a whole new level. Whereas before, I almost feel like with this Three of Swords, like the heart is beginning to light up, and it's just going to push these three swords out that are causing the pain, because the heart is lighting up so much. The heart is going to be transforming, and for some of you, you're also going to begin to recognize a body transformation. Let's look at your place of empowerment, this Nine of Wands. Remember I said this is where you have to be careful not to fall back into that overly closed off defensive energy. I like what I'm getting here. You get the Four of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. I think you're going to really begin to root yourself into the understanding that you are intelligent. You're an intelligent creature, and your full senses, as you transform some of the pain out of your heart, as your body begins to transform, clarity comes in. And so the exchanges you're going to be having with people are going to be much more fulfilling. And Cappy, honestly, I think you're being asked to trust this, because this is the place where you almost have to experience this. However, once you tune into this frequency and you experience this, where you feel stable enough in yourself that you trust yourself to make the proper exchanges and the proper interactions with people, you are going to feel that. It's going to feel like a whole vibe, okay? It's going to feel like a whole vibe, Cappy. And that's going to be what we call this, a whole vibe, because it's you. It's you showing up in ways that they're not even on the same energy signature as before. So there's a lot less stress, a lot less worry, a lot more stability, and a lot more positive interaction and exchange. Let's look at this Two of Wands here in your allies and support. So remember I said I feel like most of you have someone, a friend, a relative, someone that, you know they're always there for you. They're letting you have your journey though. They're in that mature space where there's not like the codependent energies. There's very interdependent energies. You get the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Now for some of you, this could be representative of the energy of a love that you're going to attract in. A much more interdependent relationship where the two of you can be uniquely yourselves. You can build for yourselves, but when you come together, it's refreshing, fulfilling, exciting, beautiful, energies here. So it's very important for you to be with someone who doesn't suck your energies dry. We are not, the whole vibe for Cappy is not including vampires. It's not including parasites and just people who would suck the vital life force energy out of you or just try to spiritually attack you. We're not having that. I think Cappy's gonna put a hoof down, a fin down, whatever. We have like the sea goat or whatever. You're gonna be smacking some energies around. You're gonna be deflecting this, and this is in your allies and support. And all you need is that one person, and then you just say, wow, really like the relationship with this person. Could be a friend, could be romantic, somebody you meet. I want more, please. Universe, bring me more. And that's going to contribute into some really nice manifestation energies for you. Ooh, Cappy. For your environment, so you remember I said Nine of Swords, stressed out, you got your pet, somebody who's trying to take on energies for you. We're dissolving that, right? We're coming into a more interdependent energy, you and the people connected to you or the pets connected to you. You get the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. You have the Ace of Cups here, and you have the Ace of Pentacles already in your potential outcome. This is beautiful. There are new doors opening all over the place for you, ones that carry you straight out of mental angst and stress and anxiety, all right? Some of you may be weaning yourself off of like antidepressants or anti-anxiety medicines. We do, I am not a doctor. Always consult your professional on that. However, there are some very concerning things. So you may literally be having brain clearings. Some of you may have found an herbal regimen that works really nicely for you. Some of you have shifted your diet. And all of this is just opening doors with every element left and right. Let's look at this Three of Cups in your hopes and fears. You get the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. Yeah, see, here it is. There, with that Nine of Wands and that showing up in your place of power, this is, you have to be vulnerable, Cappy, in order to make these deeper connections. Now, you're afraid to be vulnerable. You're afraid to let go of some of the cautious energies, but the love of being around other people, collaborating, meeting people, and being in community is so powerful here, and such a potent hope of yours that you're able to find your place in community and be around others and be in this more harmonious energy moving forward is, I think, gonna snuff out those fears and that caution and that restraint. So you've definitely got your work cut out for you, but from what I can see here, true to your sign, you are doing the work. For the Ace of Pentacles, yes, there it is. Three of Cups again. Okay, so Three of Cups in your hopes of fear, in your hopes and fear, and Three of Cups is a hopeful, collaborative, community kind of energy. You have the Three of Cups in your new beginning, in your practical life, in your financial world, and the Wheel of Fortune. Things changing in a big way for you. This Wheel of Fortune feels big, and it feels whole, and it feels complete. It honestly, to me, feels like, and I'm a big, huge fan of like the Stargate series. I like my sci-fi fantasy. This feels like a Stargate, and you're walking through it and you're reclaiming like so much of your true power and your true being. Really beautiful reading for December. Doesn't always look the easiest. Yes, there's challenges here, but if you can just keep being vulnerable and trusting yourself and adapting your focus, that whole vibe of you is going to be like pow, like so big. Capricorn, let's get you a final message on this very interesting reading. These are just messages that I have one time sat down and wrote, just using my intuition. So this is for the Cappy Collective. This one. It says here, it's time to release something your parents taught you that no longer serves you. So Capricorn, for some of you, I did at the very beginning of the reading pick up a bit of, could be inner child for some of you, and you can't deal with the inner child without dealing with the mother and the father issues. So I'm wondering if some of the ways that you're showing me in this reading that you felt defensive or felt like you've slipped into codependency doesn't have to do with something your parents taught you. And that may have a big part of what you're going to be releasing here, because it doesn't fit in, it doesn't help complete the whole vibe that Cappy is showing me here. And your goal is to be the whole vibe. You are going to really be rocking and rolling it here. I can't wait for your January reading. Capricorn, thank you so much for joining. I absolutely love doing these readings for you. It's absolutely my pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you next time.